Hey, Closers has been down for maintenance pretty much all day, so I figured instead of more Closers content, which people seem to be interested in watching, I thought I'd do something a little different today. Now, this game is still too long. I don't really feel like doing a full run, and I definitely don't want to commentate the whole thing, but I'm going to play through the first half of the speedrun route. Now, there is one other person named Half Coordinated. You've probably seen him at... Oops. Almost put it on hard. Normal Turbo is my speedrun category I'm working on right now. You've probably seen Half Coordinated at Games Done Quick Events. He's been speedrunning the game as well, but he doesn't play as Gal because it's hard on his hand. It's hard on anybody's hand, really. It's nothing really exclusive to him. Gal is pretty tiring to play. I'm sure if I started playing as Norris or Ricardo, I probably would get fatigued a lot later. Probably if I did like 2 or 3 runs in a row. But with Gal, especially playing on Turbo, it gets pretty tiresome. So I'm going to play through the first 3 levels for some practice. Now, one thing I never really explained about the Power Orb is it makes you invincible, and you can also cancel anything into anything. But the weakness is that when you use any of your SP moves, it actually depletes a lot faster. So on parts like the raft, there's a guaranteed Power Orb drop there. It's actually more useful to not use your special moves. Pretty much just mash the attack button as much as possible. Because it makes it so you can stay in that mode longer. That's probably the hardest part of the game, especially with this character. Combos are off a little bit. Oh, there we go. That was a relatively good fight. I could have ended that a little quicker. I can't mention this enough, but it's nice how this game actually has built-in splits. Like, that was still 5 seconds worse than my best time. I need a better boss fight, basically, even though I have the buff, you know, the buff that he added to Gal's damage. So my goal time for this is probably a sub 40. Getting under 40 minutes would be a pretty good time, I think. Obviously, the amount of people that speedrun beat-em-ups versus, you know, first-party Nintendo games like Mario Odyssey is like pretty big difference. So these games don't really get too optimized unless the couple people that speedrun them like really take them seriously. But I've never really been a serious speedrunner. I have a couple good times on the games that I play, but I'm sure they could be pushed down a lot lower if there were more people playing. That's common for anything, though. This is already going bad. Now, see, this is why I need to practice. I did this fine earlier, but of course when I start recording, I just can't do it. Doesn't matter too much. You actually get quite a few extends later on in the run. As long as nothing catastrophic happens, you will still 1cc. It's kind of just a matter of when things are going to go bad. See, like right here, if you use specials, you're not going to have enough time to clear out most of them. I only had a couple left because I mostly just used regular attacks. So you definitely want to get to the last hit of your square string now, even more than before, because you buff the damage on it. So these splits are pretty roller coaster right now, even though I'm not even halfway done with the game. I got a 5-second negative split on my, you know what I mean, I'm 5 seconds behind on the first split. And then 4 seconds ahead on the second split, even though I died. 23 seconds ahead. That new strat I'm using. So I'll play through this level since this is pretty much the halfway point, at least in terms of how many levels there are. That'll be it. I don't really feel like continuing since I already died. It's not really going to be a clean run. Nothing I'd be satisfied with. wish her secret move was better, but I guess he doesn't want to make her too overpowered. You're noticing these guys are dying in one just square string. I don't think that was actually possible before. I think they had like a sliver of health left. I'll have to look at my old videos and verify that, but I seem to remember them surviving just 2 combos if we didn't do anything advanced to try to extend it. So even though it's like not really a big change, it actually is it's a bigger change than you'd think. Like if you just do the basic combo and it kills them, then that you know, removes them from the situation pretty much. You know how to fight most of these guys, I always forget. I don't think I've ever shown this much of the speedrun route with commentary, aside from my stream VODs, which vary in terms of how much commentary I do, depending on how many people are in there. So the anti-air or down-up attack actually got buffed as well. Alright, is it going too hot already? Let's see what the split was for that. That fight was definitely not ideal. We usually want to use all the projectiles and just take off a chunk of her health, but it is kind of faster to just try to rush her down. But she also has that classic Joe Higashi slash kick, and she can get it out pretty much instantly versus you know, the playable gal who has to do the whole jump backwards and hold up and land. It takes a while to set up. You can get a combo off it, but hers is like way better. So sometimes she just puts that out. It has like basically no startup, so you do kind of run the risk of losing a life, even if you haven't already. Oh yeah, those stats are splits are trash. But there's the first half of the game. There's still like another, ideally if I got a good run, probably about another 25-26 minutes left. I don't feel like commentating the whole thing. This runs you can see how roller coaster the splits are. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop there, but I will be practicing this more, probably just now for fun, just to get better at the game again and kind of get accustomed to the buffs and how they would change the speed run. I definitely can see from these splits alone how the buffs are kind of making things at least a little bit faster, and this is obviously a pretty trash run, very polarizing splits. But when when Californiathon, the submissions open, I will need to make a submission video, so I probably will do a full commentated one. I don't know if it'll be on stream or just a local recording like this. And then at that point, if it does get in, then I will be practicing more. So Californiathon is usually in March, usually around the time of my birthday, so mid to late March is when they tend to have it. So if you want to see more of this, that is definitely when I'll be playing it a lot. That is on the stipulation that it actually gets into the marathon. They didn't take anything I submitted this year, which ended up working out because I was not physically able to go. But I have a feeling they'll probably take this. The pixel art is good. It does run a little long for a beat 'em up. I'm kind of worried about that. I think my Streets of Fury EX run was probably about maybe 10-15 minutes shorter than this will be. I'm probably going to give them about an hour estimate, maybe 50 minutes. And try to bring it down as much as humanly possible, because with these games they don't tend to want to take them because they're not household names, and if they're longer than half an hour, people tend to get bored. I hope that wouldn't happen with this. The presentation of the game is great, the pixel art's good, the gameplay is good, the music is good as well. Pretty much everything visually and audibly about this game is good, so we'll see what happens. Probably later in the week, maybe when I take a break from closers, I will try to get that time down a little more. Anyway, I just wanted to commentate this since it would be good practice for if the game gets in Californiathon and I'm able to actually attend next year. It'd be nice to be able to explain everything. Anyway, catch you guys later. Peace.